Hey guys, Ian here. Welcome back to White Pine Living and welcome to episode 2 of Gun Talk. You know my friend Mike?
Hey.
So we actually have a pretty cool episode today. A friend of mine named Garrett has a company called Freedom Flag Products in Carson City. And he mailed us a couple of cool toys to mess with. Freedom Flag makes all kinds of guns, accessories, that kind of stuff. In particular,
they make these things. The guy.
What are those?
What is this?
What?
I'm not sure.
What?
This, being very broad, is called a muzzle device.
Muzzle device.
It goes in the end of your gun and does stuff.
Okay.
The thing that this does, or what's intended to do, is this particular one is intended to mitigate muzzle climb, not recoil and not flash, but specifically muzzle climb.
And if we're trying to keep this friendly to everybody, no matter your shooting experience. So what he's talking about is if you're new to shooting, when you're firing your gun, if you're firing a lot, you're going to start losing your aim because it's going to climb.
Right. Your gun's going to climb, and then you're going to be off target.
Right.
In a semi-auto, anyway. Bolt action is not as important.
It's true.
But if you're an AR nerd like us,
yes,
it becomes important quickly. But yeah, so what we're going to do, we are going to do before and after. I actually have this rifle here, which is going to be my test bed, and I've never bothered to affix a muzzle device to it, and I've always shot this thing like this, like a chump, and it has it for a 223 and it has a surprising amount of recoil. Like, it's kind of sad.
Okay.
And so we'll be able to shoot this gun in this configuration. Before and after, we put the Freedom Flag product on there. And so we will be able to test a bare muzzle versus the Freedom Flag. And Ian's rifle has an A2, a standard freaking $6 A2 bird cage. It's going to be guys like, $6 shooting people more than $2. Whatever. They're nothing. And extraordinarily inexpensive and semi-useless flash hider, muzzle climb mitigating, whatever that A2s do. Yeah, they're useful. They're durable and rugged. They do a halfway decent job of mitigating some of the muzzle flash, at least controlling it. And they work fairly well on mitigating muzzle climb. They do nothing for rearward motion. That said, I recommend if you have an AR and you're starting out and you don't know what you're doing, these things are cheap. They do something. They do a little bit of something.
It works fine for me. I'm able to shoot just fine with it. It's really no big deal.
You need to fix that.
Yeah, at some point.
I have a Dremel in my house. We saw that stupid thing off. This is what we call sad. So in Ian's rifle, I just noticed this. We have this fancy little razzmatazz little piece back here that you attach a single point sling to. It's on both sides. But whoever designed, I don't know where this came from. Whoever designed this didn't think that you may want to actually use.
You might actually want to be able to hit that, you mean? Instead of just pushing it?
It's not the most critical thing in the universe, but
I've managed to get through without it.
We can fix that if you want.
That's good.
Okay. We'll pull the Dremel out.
So now let's talk about this. So these guys sent us these things.
Yeah, very nice guys.
Well, why don't you pull a couple of them out so we can zoom in and take a look at them here.
There's the boy, and this one's the girl.
Okay. Why do you say that?
Yes.
I think I know.
Oh yes. See, one of them is an innie and one of them is an outie, and I think it's adorable that I guess they're built touch tips or something. Anyway, the gentleman who made this is a very interesting guy, and his whole thing is, from what I can tell, stuff that looks cool but is still functional.
Yeah.
Which is always nice because there's a lot of stuff that looks cool and you put it on your gun and it doesn't.
Completely not functional.
Yeah, completely the opposite of functional and doesn't work. I've actually seen muzzle devices which will not necessarily enhance your flash, but you'll go blind if you shoot them in the dark. And then I've also seen muzzle devices which will shoot your gun forward, which is lame, right? You'll be shooting and hey, that's lame. That's actually harder to control than going in your shoulder. I'd rather just let it go in your shoulder. And then there's other muzzle devices that I've seen which will have so much gas coming at the top they'll push the thing down.
If it's going forward, does that mean the gas is going backwards?
Well, that's how you mitigate rearward motion, right? That's
I
the
would think
point.
too much of that starts to get a little dangerous.
Yeah, that gets really lame really quickly. So that's another thing with muzzle devices.
Jeez.
If you put a muzzle device in your gun and it has too much gas going back at you, you go deaf very quickly. And muzzle device failures, I can speak from experience because I've had bad experiences with muzzle devices. When they fly off of your gun because you didn't put the one on because you didn't know what you were doing and may or may not have gotten a muzzle strike. And then your wife's like, "Oh God, my husband's dead," and starts crying. Like that's a good time right there. That's great. Don't ever do that.
Don't do that. Okay.
Never.
It's important to attach the muzzle device properly.
Yes.
More important to have a good muzzle device.
Yes.
Don't buy crap just because it looks good. Actually, make sure it's functional.
Yeah. Or at least in this case, make sure that it looks cool and is functional.
Oh, that's the win-win.
It's gotta be functional first.
In the future, we're going to do a lot more of these. So if you guys have some things that you're considering buying, feel free to shoot us a message. We'll see if we can get our hands on it and talk through it a little bit because chances are Mike knows something about it.
Yeah, and there's actually like a 50-50 chance. I already know what it is, and I can tell you it's a piece of crap and not to buy it. I do have a few hard and steadfast rules when it comes to gun. Doesn't look too intended. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a few companies that like, I will just. It's like, oh, you're interested in a what? Oh, yeah, no, I don't care what they do. They need to go to business. They suck. This looks actually kind of neat.
It's pretty cool. I dig it.
I may have just scared someone.
So let's talk through just the functionality. You were telling me a little bit about it earlier. These guys are going to want to know, like,
right.
Okay, why the holes? Why is it spiraled? What's going on here?
The spiral thing, I'm not actually 100% sure.
It looks neat.
It looks very neat, and I'm unsure if the fact that the muzzle device is spiraled is supposed to do something or enhance something or make something work better. But one thing that we can definitely see is it has a different top and a bottom. These ones, by the way, these are blems, and they put the logo on the bottom for those who are in the know and paying attention. And as you can see, one of the spiral portions here has no holes. That's the bottom.
Okay.
And so we've got holes on, what is this, like 4 sides? Yeah, on 4 sides. And they're of differing sizes. You can see the larger hole is towards the end and the smallest hole is towards the back of the back of the device. Mm-hmm. The reasoning behind that, at least my understanding of this, and granted I'm not an engineer, but generally speaking, the reason behind that is you have higher pressures towards the rear of the device, right?
Okay.
The higher pressure will mean that you'll have more gas shooting out at a higher speed. And that does more of whatever you want it to do. And then as they get larger, you have less gas.
Okay, simple.
Right. Is
the other one any different than this, or is it basically the same thing, just different?
Absolutely the same design.
Excellent.
Other than being a female. Other than being a girl. And yeah, they both have you look at them on the front and it's like a star. Yay. Because that's
actually kind of cool. You could
kind of neat. Yeah.
You don't even need a bayonet after that. You can just...
Well, I don't know about that. You might be able to glass break, but I'm going to say flat out, if you're busting glass with the tip of your rifle, you're doing something really, really wrong. Because one, bullets come out of the front of your rifle.
So if there's still glass there.
Yeah, I mean, you could just shoot the glass out. So there's that. 2, normally you beat things with the back end of your rifle, not the front end, because you want to. Let's say hypothetically you hit this on glass and glass shatters and little pieces of glass get in there, and then you fire. And then the bullet goes and hits a piece of glass and something weird happens and the whole thing tears off and your gun blows in half. And then your wife cries and runs after you and thinks you're dead. Again.
I would guess that if you're busting glass with the front of your gun, you're probably not doing something legal. Chances are.
That's true. I mean, law enforcement has a need to do that, and the military might have a need to do that.
That's
Although,
true.
I've never been in the military. I don't know how these things I don't know how military guys do shit, but I would think the better way for a military guy to break glass is to pull a pin and hand grenade and throw a 1-pound metal hand grenade through a window. That'll break the out of that glass. It'll work fine. And law enforcement guys typically have like a they call it break and rake, and it's like a tool they have, and they shove it through the window and break it, and then they rake around the sides of it, and then all the SWAT guys jump in and tell the homies to put their Uzis in the ground and whatever they're doing.
Well, that looks awesome, man.
Yeah.
So I guess the next step is we're going to install these things and jump out to the range and see what happens.
Yeah, we're going to do shooting before we install, and then we're going to install and do more shooting afterwards.
Excellent. We'll see you guys on the range.
It's going to be fun.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
What?
What?
What's that?
Oh, this guy? Oh, this is a little something I picked up on the way back into town. This has absolutely nothing to do with anything that we're talking about this episode. Other than, I don't know, maybe Freedom Flag should make some cool stuff for Muzzle Devices. I don't know. I mean, they make muzzle brakes, so that's obviously part of their thing, right?
Okay.
Is mitigating, have a little bit of recoil. Those of you out there that know might or might not understand that this gun has a small amount of recoil. But
All right. Well, that was fun.
yeah.
Okay. Just for myself and the rest of the rednecks in training out there, what on God's green earth did we just shoot?
We shot 2 AR-15s and a Muzzle gun.
I know what the AR-15s were.
Hey, you said rednecks in training, man.
Okay. what
Okay.
was the other thing?
So Muzzle gun is a very old rifle from World War I, World War II. It was first invented in 1891, used until 1945.
How do you know this stuff?
How do you not know this stuff? It's not fucking hard. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so anyway, it fires from stripper clips, and it shoots the 7.62 by 54R. 7.62 54R is a Russian full-power rifle round. It's akin to a 30-06 or 308 or something like that.
Russian.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and
It's big.
it's very big. It's very serious. It's very fun. These rifles are prized for their inexpensiveness and their it's just kind of idiotic durability. That said, they're kind of crappy rifles. They're kind of extremely inaccurate, and you'll see, the video, kind of slapping things and moving stuff back, and it's kind of a struggle to work them. Whereas when you have Mauser or something, it's very smooth and clean and works beautiful. And the rifles don't tend to do well when you have large amounts of mud. Little bit things like dust and dirt is not a big deal, but like full-on mud is bad.
Like possibly not as effective in actual combat if there's mud.
Yeah.
Could be a problem.
So, I mean, they found it out pretty quickly in World War One, and there's like it was
where there was lots of mud.
There was lots of mud, and they had to figure out how to clean the rifles, and it like, yeah. But anyway, I mean, like they served okay. They served fine. World War II, they did better as like sniper rifles, and there is a cool sniper variant which like no one has, but it's cool. Yeah, it's got this really crappy little scope on it. Normally with a scope, anyone who shoots will know this. You make the adjustments, and the crosshairs stay in the center, but the whole thing you're looking at kind of moves around a little bit. But in the Mosin PU sniper scope, it's just stands for piece of unit or something. The PU scope, you're still looking at the same spot, but the crosshairs just move to wherever you move them to. It's awesome. And I mean it's cool for history, but for practicality it sucks. Yeah. But they're extremely fun. This will be the third Mosin I've ever owned and my second one currently. The other one is an M44, is a Russian M44, which is actually kind of rare because they only made them for like a year. And this is a carbine variant, and those are fun. This one is like the full-sized rifle.
Clearly.
Yeah.
So just for the sake of comparison, we've just, we fired your weapon with no muzzle device whatsoever.
Right, which was, I've never actually paid attention to it because that rifle I've always shot for accuracy. And when you shoot for accuracy, you don't pay attention as much, I think. And in this one, I was noticing the crosshairs were going up into my side a little bit. And that was a combination of two factors. One, the obvious ton of gas coming out of the front, but also it ejects on that side, right? So it's pulling the thing to the one side.
All right. What about mine with the cheap average $6?
It wasn't bad, but you could definitely feel yours was going like pretty significantly up.
Okay.
I mean, not like mine was, but it's pretty bad. If you're shooting rapid fire, like a lot, like you're shooting really fast, you want it to stay on target as much as possible, because either one of two things is going to happen. Either you start walking the rifle in some weird direction off target, which defeats the purpose, or like you'll be shooting and the front side is like a think of it as like a speedometer, and basically what happens is the gun will come up, and when it settles and is back down on target, then you shoot again. And so you can shoot faster, once you know your trigger, and they're all a little different once you understand the difference between, like, you pull and it breaks and goes bang, and then there's a click when it resets, and you pull it back and it's bang again. Once you've learned to ride that thing, then you can shoot at the speed of that trigger. But the other factor of that is how fast is your gun settled down. So if you have maybe a cool Freedom Flag product that pushes your gun down, then you're gonna be shooting
a whole lot less of that.
Yeah, and if all your gun is doing is being driven into your shoulder, then all I have to do is push against it. It's not gonna be a big deal. If you have a true, legitimate compensator like a Surefire or something, then you shoot the fucking thing one-handed or something.
Cool.
It's fine.
Well, we're gonna go and install the Freedom Flag muzzle devices.
Oh, said something totally different. That was awesome.
They should reconsider their name.
No, that's a cool name.
Anyway, we're gonna go install these things, and we'll see if it makes a difference.
Don't ask me why it comes with frog lube. I don't know.
That's an excellent question. What the hell's the frog lube for?
I don't know. They probably get free samples of it, man.
Well, howdy. Kelly Bullis, CPA here in Ely. I know I don't have to tell you the U.S. tax code is complicated. Maybe you already have a CPA helping you sort through it all, but whether you had a professional help you or you did it yourself, a second opinion is very valuable. I'll look over your last 3 years' tax returns at no charge. Call me at 882-4459. That's 882-4459, or visit us at bullisandco.com.
Hi.
All right, we are back. Install complete. So which is which here? What did you do?
So I've got the boy and you've got the girl. Or the glass breaker. Well, I don't know, whatever.
Thanks.
You're welcome. No problem.
It does look cool. I like this one better, honestly.
Okay. I
So,
feel like mine's superior.
Okay, well, we're gonna go find out.
Yeah,
Let's.
I think I got them on straight. I don't know.
Well, that's kind of hard to mess up, I would think.
You just eyeball it. I don't know.
I mean, isn't it
Just look.
threaded? How do you not get it on straight? You're scaring me.
We'll know. We'll know if the recoil is unusual or like.
Or if it blows up in
Slightly.
your face.
No, that I don't mean like tilted or cockeyed, man. I mean like I don't know if it's like timed.
Oh, okay.
Jesus, chill out. I'm not retarded. I'm like, dude, let's cross set it in there.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's head out to the range and see how these things work out.
Yeah. See if this muzzle brake sucks or not. Oh, shit. Well, it's a hell of a lot better than an empty, than a naked barrel, you know? That was kind of nice. Exactly what the owner of the company said it would do. It'll keep it from coming up, but do nothing from here.
Awesome.
So that's great.
Let's try the other one.
Let's try the other one. This magazine was loaded by Ian.
Well,
Yeah, oh, it works.
Hey guys, well, I did something dumb and managed to delete our final comments about the Freedom Flag products muzzle devices, and so this will just have to suffice. At the end of the day, we found them to be awesome. They did exactly what Garrett and the guys said they would do. So Mike and I both recommend you go and check their stuff out. They're on Facebook. You can find them on Instagram. And remember, if you guys have gun questions, you want us to review something, no matter what it is, if you know somebody that should be a guest on the show, reach out to us and we'd love to get it done. We'll see you next time.